What if you could unlock a 12-to-1 return on your Facebook ad campaigns and a 21% lower ad cost at the same time? Well, we're going to talk about LeadKlozer here today, an industry-first tool for Facebook marketers that will allow you to do exactly that. In fact, if you could discover 20 to 30% more hidden leads that you could never see before, how much would that impact your bottom line? And what if you could use automated lead rankings to discover priorities, your most engaged, most important leads, and exactly when and where they're interacting with you? How much would you love that? How about managing 10 times more Facebook engagements versus any other tool, all in one place in half the time? Well, that's how you get a 12-to-1 ROI in your Facebook ads while reducing ad costs at the same time. But often, we're looking at our Facebook leads and just seeing them go into the great sales abyss. And you wouldn't be alone. On average, across every industry, conversion rates are abysmal, and Facebook ad costs just keep going up. Plus, Facebook doesn't make it easy to manage all this engagement and make good decisions that close more sales. It's just too frustrating. It's too overwhelming. It's too difficult. In fact, 9 out of 10 digital ad agencies don't manage the Facebook campaigns that they create. It just takes too much manpower to get a return. So to get this kind of a return, what do we have to do? Well, it all starts with the number one highly successful sales strategy of all time. The more engaged a lead is, the better the sales prospect they become. That has never been available to social media marketers before. And Facebook is a perfect example. When you're engaging on Facebook or inside of any other tool, all you know is somebody's name. You have no idea how engaged, how important they are to the business. That all changes with LeadKlozer, because for every individual lead or fan on your page, we track all their engagements over time. Reactions, comments, replies, chatbot conversations, inbox conversations, and we organize them for you in a profile. And we also give them a lead ranking that we call a SMART score that shows you priorities and allows you to identify when your most important, most engaged fans are interacting with your business. So here we are inside LeadKlozer in a tool called Live Tracker. It's kind of like email, where your most recent email is at the top, but these are all engagements with your Facebook page. So reactions and comments and messages, and their SMART scores. So you can see their lead rankings. The higher the score, the more important, more engaged they are to the business. In the middle of the page is a SE9, a blue dot. The blue dot means that's the very first time that they've engaged with your business. When they engage for a second time, we'll automatically change that blue dot to a green dot right below where it says SE20. Now you can also, based on the conversations, you can decide to turn them to a warm lead, an orange dot, or a red lead, a hot dot. All of this helps you as you're engaging anywhere inside of LeadKlozer to see important lead context. And take note, some of these people have a dot over the lower left of their profile image. That connotates a one-on-one conversation has already been established. So we're going to get into that more later. But what I want to show you here is an example of the number one top hidden lead opportunity inside of LeadKlozer that you've never been able to see before. Patty here has a SMART score of 148, very engaged. Now if we click on Patty's name, we're going to bring up her SMART profile. Here's her profile, and in the upper right corner, it says Patty has interacted with your business 67 times. Down below the arrow there, you'll see all of those engagements. You can scroll up and down, open any, reply, move on. But I want to focus on the left side of the profile. Let me bring up that. You can see that 6 hours ago was the last time that Patty engaged with the page. And to the left of that, it says none. That was the last time that the page engaged with her. So here's a highly engaged, important super fan, and we've never engaged with her before. And beyond that, we haven't taken advantage of the opportunities on the upper right there to schedule activities, to assign different kinds of tags, to create follow-up lists, take notes of important information, what happened inside of the conversations. This is an example that happens all the time throughout the customer journey that we create with our Facebook ads as they enter and go through our funnels. Now let's talk about the second opportunity here. This is all about reducing ad costs by 21% overnight. These are two duplicate campaigns with very different performance. The bottom one, the more expensive campaign, is a campaign that's been running for a while and has an interest-based Facebook ad audience. The upper campaign was duplicated from the lower, and that interest-based audience was just switched out for a superfan lookalike audience. Because we know who your most engaged, most important fans are, your superfans, we can download a custom audience and turn it into a lookalike audience and insert it into any ad campaign. And it lowered ad costs by 21% overnight. Here's an example of that superfan list, and you can see all the superfans listed on the left side of the page. We clicked on the Export Custom Audience button, and we said, let's take the top 2,000 superfans, and we have the unique identifier of all of them on Facebook. So we created a spreadsheet, a CSV file, by downloading it, uploaded it into Facebook, created a custom audience, and then told Facebook to create a lookalike audience out of that. It was just that simple. And now you can take that 21% lower ad cost and put those savings right back into your campaigns with the existing same budget and get more leads and more sales as a result. This is just one of hundreds and hundreds of first-of-a-kind custom audience choices, which is the third of 10 hidden lead opportunities. Inside of LeadKlozer, you can create a custom audience out of any kind of lead behavior, engagements. This is coming at a time where Apple has introduced the iOS 14.5 update, and it's restricting the third-party data that Facebook uses to help us create custom and retargeting audiences. So as those audiences are shrinking, we're creating hundreds and hundreds of new audiences inside of LeadKlozer that you can use. Let me give you a good example of just one of those. Here's an ad, a single ad for a webinar, Conquering Diabetes. This webinar got 1,781 reactions. We want to create a custom audience out of those reactions for this one ad. You can't do that inside of Facebook, and retarget to them. Makes good sense, right? Well, we're going to use a tool called Smart Search inside of LeadKlozer. Think of Smart Search as a Google search engine for your entire contact database. So we create a list by just saying we want all reactions from this one particular ad, and here's the list. And there's the export option at the top. So we can create a custom retargeting audience out of any kind of lead behaviors. This is an example of one ad. Think of all the opportunities to create custom audiences and reduce ad costs, because we know better audiences create better performing ads. All right, let's go into the fourth of 10 hidden lead opportunities. We've talked a lot about the automated lead rankings and what you can do to identify your most engaged, most important superfans in a number of different ways. What we haven't talked about is identifying all new conversations as people are entering into the funnels and going through that customer journey that you're creating. It's kind of like somebody gave me an analogy. They said, we're creating all these ads, we're inviting all these people to our party, and then we're never talking to them. Remember Patty Simon? Well, what if you could identify those Patty Simons all over? So Patty, as the example, was a very highly scored, smart score, highly engaged lead. The thing is, she's a super fan. We shouldn't miss any of those. So how do we see those inside of the customer journey? Because our current funnels, all we know is people's names. So we have no idea how important they are to our business. But with LeadKlozer, our funnels, they light up. They become vivid with all kinds of leads that are engaging with us. This is where we miss lead opportunities, because we could never see that information before. We could never personally follow up with them. And personal conversations are intimate. They make the leads feel appreciated, heard, supported, and important. People want to do business with real people. And if we could take advantage of these conversations for the very first time because we can see them, then we can obviously increase our lead nurturing and closing efforts and get more sales. So here's a fifth of 10 hidden lead opportunities. This is a very interesting way that we could see lead activity that we've never been able to see before. It's all about reactions. Did you know that you could actually reply to reactions? Well, here's an ad, and I'm going to blow up the bottom here. 409 reactions and 46 comments. So we try to reply to all the comments, right? But we can't reply to reactions. They're just social proof, and that's really good. But did you know that on average, on Facebook, all ads and posts have 10 times as many reactions as they do comments? So what if we could reply to those? Well, let me show you how you can. Inside of this funnel, these people are identifying themselves. They're partly identifying themselves by the engagements or reactions that they're making. So we created a tool called Live Tracker Columns, which takes all engagements, that fire hose of engagements, and puts them into certain kinds of engagements by column. One of those columns is a superfan reaction follow-up. So these are all of our superfans based on the SMART score, our lead rankings, and they're all reacting, and they all have that one-on-one communication dot on the left lower side of their profile image. So we know we can just click it open and we can reply to them in their most recent comment on any post or ad or any inbox conversation that's already been started. This is all new Facebook messaging steps that have never been available to any Facebook marketer before. And now this leads into the 6th of 10 hidden lead opportunities, because there's plenty of other kinds of columns of activities inside of Live Tracker Columns. And because they're available and so easily accessible, it helps you manage 10 times more Facebook engagements versus any other tool. Here's an example. All comments from all pages. You might have multiple pages. You want to see all comments in one column across all your posts and ads. Or just comments from just your ads. Or just comments from just maybe 2 ads from a current promotion you have running right now. What about comments just from your superfans? You don't want to miss those. How about all customer comments? That $sign in the upper left corner of their profile image shows that they're a customer. What about comments that contain certain keywords? Hate, or maybe an e-commerce company would want to do broken or late. Or comments that are positive, they're trying to get a hold of you. Message, phone, contact, those kinds of keywords. What about new comments from new leads? What about new comments from new leads on just your ads? What about all of your inbox messages in one column? And those superfan reaction follow-ups. Now the 7th of 10 hidden lead opportunity is about missed comments. Did you know that there are 3 billion comments a month on Facebook pages? And missed comments are the #1 lost sales opportunity on Facebook. It takes 6 to 8 marketing touches to generate a viable sales lead, just a lead. So we know keeping track of all of this is super important. So here's the missed comment tracker. It shows all of your comments across all your ads and posts across all your pages in one column. And missed comments are comments that haven't been replied to by the admin or editor of the page. Click on any of the numbers for any of these ads or any of these posts, and the ad will come up and all the activity. The green open means they haven't been replied to. The closed happens automatically when the page or the admin or editor of the page replies. Or you can manually close any comment that you don't want to follow up on. And those numbers in the missed comment column go down automatically every time. The 8th of 10 hidden lead opportunities is all about having at a glance sales context that will help you nurture and close. It will help you reply to somebody very differently than someone else. I would reply differently to somebody that's brand new to the page versus somebody that's engaged 20, 30, 40, 50 times. That just makes sense. So no matter where you're engaging inside of LeadKlozer, whether it's in Live Tracker Columns, whether it's any lists like your Superfan list, whether it's inside a missed comment tracker, when you open up the posts and the ads and you're engaging, you want to make sure that you don't treat 2 leads the same. No highly successful sales process would ever do that. Now here's the 9th of 10 hidden lead opportunities. Did you know that 71% of leads are never followed up with? And if they are, they're only followed up 1.3 times? Well, consistent and effective follow-up is one of the biggest culprits to poor conversion performance. So what we've done is we've created smart schedules. It literally keeps track of all of the times that when you're engaging with a lead and you finish the engagement, you don't want to just forget about it. You want to schedule a follow-up event. And then you can forget about it because you're going to get an email between 4 and 5 in the morning in your time zone that says, here's your follow-ups for today. So the 10th of 10 hidden lead opportunities is all about automated lead alerts. So when you're not even inside of LeadKlozer, you can decide who, when, and how you want to have lead alerts sent to you. You can have text messages, emails, or push notifications in the browser. You can have this done immediately, an hourly summary, a daily summary. And just as much as there are columns inside of Live Tracker columns, hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of columns, you can take those and more and create automated lead alerts from them. Here's a great example. Your ads have 16 new comments. This isn't theory. This is just good, sound, solid sales practices that have never been available to Facebook marketers before. We need to break through the barriers and not let things like overwhelm and frustration with the amount of engagements and difficulty of managing them and making good decisions hinder us. And we don't need big, complicated analytical software programs that nobody can use, or professional sales teams to back us up. Anyone can be a lead managing, sales closing superhero. All it takes is one missed comment or late reply to lose the sale. I closed a $400,000 home sale because of a comment I would have missed without LeadKlozer. Are you missing leads on Facebook? We want you to never miss another lead and sales opportunity again. We want you to get reduced ad costs. We want you to get a greater return on ad spend. We never want you to miss any comment or any important lead engagement. And we want to give you access to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of custom audiences that further help you reduce your ad costs. In a recent governor's campaign, we put LeadKlozer to use and increased donations by 65%. This is the power that we want to bring to you in your business. So sign up for your 14-day free trial today.